Sorry about that late start right there. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Nez Nation Live. This is a show where you get to ask any question you want, and we, as a community, collaborate and try to answer them as best as possible, especially if you're looking to earn more, grow faster, and stress less in this greater economy. Make sure you come on back because today's show is a little different. So make sure you come on back. So I was trying to go live on Amazon. So we're live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, obviously. And I was trying to go live on Amazon too. So I apologize for the delay. It looks like there's an error here. And so Jim, Chris, if you're in the audience, let me know what's going on. But that's okay. We don't have to go live on Amazon. We can. It's all a learning curve, right? Everything is a learning curve. Welcome everybody to another episode of Nez Nation Live. I am your host. If you're new to this channel, I'm Professor Nez. I eat, sleep, and breathe content creation. It's been the engine to all of my businesses. I'm a personal branding coach, executive career coach. The list goes on and on. Author, speaker. And this is a show that we do regularly every single Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is where you can ask me anything you want. Usually, we have a pinned questionnaire in the comments. Usually, we have just a simple form that you fill out so I can organize. We got our mod squad in the house. I'll do a roll call. Hey, good to see you, Jessica Hatch. Jessica Hatch is in the house. Good to see you, girl. How are you? Fellow speaker at People of Video. The People of Video. Hopefully, I can make it there. We'll see what's going on here with all this hullabaloo about the Delta variant. But having said all that, usually what happens on the show, as I said, is you fill out just a small little questionnaire form and you ask your question, whatever that question is, related to anything at all. How do I monetize? How do I grow my brand? How do I get hired in the 21st century? How do I sell products and services? How do I build YouTube into a business? Whatever question you have, this is the show that you can come to and get your questions answered. However, a little different today. I know a lot of you guys who are here, I can see. Anthony, good to see you. Lewis in the house, the mod squad, the best mod squad in the house is here. Good to see you guys. Brian, great to see you. I might have a very special guest coming on the show as well. I'll leave that as a mystery, so make sure you stick around. Very, very special guest. You don't want to miss this. But there's something a little different. If you can tell, I'm a little bit shook. Because it's a real thing. Sweeney, good to see you. So our fellow brother, one of the stalwarts of the community, you guys know who he is, Owen Video, and Nick and God bless Nick and Daryl. They're just doing amazing, trying to raise capital and raise funds for this amazing cause. And if you don't know who Owen Video is, he's somebody who runs an amazing video business, and he's a friend. He's one of the first people I had on my show back in 2016 when I first started my Facebook Live. This is when Facebook Live just came out. He's one of the very first people who was on my show. And it was just phenomenal. It was phenomenal having him on the show. He was nice enough to be on, and he was just an amazing guest, amazing personality. And he'd been battling cancer his whole life, and he beat it. But the sad news is that it's actually come back, and it's come back with a vengeance. But you guys know, and I know, that if you understand Owen's fighting spirit, this is something that I don't think is going to defeat him. I really think he is going to overcome this. And if you're watching, Owen, Teresa, much prayers and thoughts go out to you and your family. I wish you nothing but the best. And I just want to share this in the pinned comment right now, really quickly. In the pinned comment right now, you will see there is a GoFundMe if you're interested in any, I think any donation would be greatly appreciated. I'm gonna I'm gonna share the screen right now, because this is the cause. And I think yesterday on Daryl's stream, they just started this and they've already raised, look at this, $77,000 of a $150,000 goal. So anything that you can add to that, I know a lot of you guys have already donated, but anything that you can add to that would be greatly appreciated, I know, by Owen and his family. And you know, I just actually found out about this like 2 weeks ago through Nick's tweet. I think Owen was not, rightly so, you know, he wasn't broadcasting it out there. Hey, guess what? I got cancer again. But it got serious, and he did make a cool video, an awesome video, just sharing his story, which I saw, and it broke me down to tears. And you know, and so anyway, the community has come together in a huge way. The community has come together to try and help out our fellow brethren. And so in the pinned comment is the GoFundMe link. And it would be fantastic if you guys could help out and donate whatever you can, even if it's just $1. I think it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. And so, yeah, I'm very, very moved and inspired by his story, and I actually, funny enough, I mean, it's not quite as serious as his case, but you know, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this huge scar right here. You know, the story goes that Owen went to the doctors and they basically just gave him a death sentence. They said this thing is inoperable. There's nothing we can do about it. And you have, like, I mean, can you imagine a father, husband? I mean, I can't even wrap my brain around this. If some doctor told me, you're done, you got 2 years and that's it. It just reminds us, y'all, this thing called LIFE is short. You never know what could happen, and focusing your energy on the right things, your family, your health, your life, you know, surrounding yourself with positive people who uplift you and inspire you, and not paying attention to the haters, the negativity is something I talk a lot about on my stream. I talk about, you know, and this, by the way, this new merch is coming very soon. The most important gear is between your ears. This dude right here, I mean, what we focus on, we give power to, and giving attention and focusing on negative energy around us, it's just not going to cut it. It's going to undercut everything that you're trying to do. And so, yeah, any kind of help that you can give to my fellow, our brethren here. And the reason I showed you my arm is because I had just a little personal story about me. I can relate to this story immensely, because I was told, not only when I went through depression and anxiety, was I told by people in white coats that, you know, you got to do this and this, you got to take these pills. That's the only way to do this. But I was also told by people in white coats, authority figures, that, you know, you're going to have, I had a musculoskeletal infection in my arm called osteomyelitis. I don't pray that on my worst. Here we go. Snez Nation, go ahead, Sweeney, you got it. Sweeney, you got your sneeze. I think that's 2 weeks in a row, isn't it? Isn't it, Lewis? 2 weeks in a row. Hey, good to see you, Frank. Hey, good to see you, Jurgen. Yuri is in the house. Good to see you, Yuri. And Yuri can probably relate to this too. I loved your posts about your father, and wishing you nothing but the best as well. Yeah, Lewis, don't take your time for granted. I love the way you said that. Snez Nation for the win. There it is. For some reason, as soon as I go live, everything seems to happen. And so, yeah, I actually, I wonder if I have to stream in 720p to go live on Amazon, because I'm streaming in 1080. And I wonder if 720 is the way to go, and I don't think I can change that now. Anyway, I'm going to stop messing with it. If anybody knows, so I can't go live on Amazon. I was trying to go live on Amazon too. I even had my product carousel there, inspired by our last guests Jim Fuse and Chris Stone and Chris Giles, rather. Amazon Live, amazing. If you haven't seen those shows, go check out those shows. But anyway, let me get back to this. So I was told that you have to keep doing surgeries, that you have to keep doing intravenous antibiotics. And it wasn't until I found the right doctor and I really researched and took it up on my own, instead of just nodding my head and saying, yes, okay, I'll do whatever you tell me. But I just had a feeling in my bones. I had a feeling in my heart. This just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound right. I need to always do surgeries? Like I'm going to live with this? They basically told me you're going to live with this for the rest of your life and you're going to have a surgery every 5-6 years. That's what they told me. Well, guess what? The last surgery I had, knock on wood, was 2010 because I found the right person to help me out. I did it on my own. This is why I always say, verify everything you hear, especially online. Verify everything. I tell my classroom every time I start a new class at the university, and now my teaching load is so low because I'm running my businesses successfully, which is what I'm helping you guys try to do. I always tell my students, I always tell my class, I want you to think I'm full of beep. I want you to think I'm full of it. I don't want you to just sit in your seats, nod your head, and ask for seconds. Verify everything I'm saying in the real world. Critical thinking. We shouldn't be teaching students what to think. We should be teaching them how to think. Instead of telling them, listen to me, point your finger and say, listen to me, we should be teaching them how to process, how to make sense, how to investigate for themselves. Critical discernment. That's everything. Why? Why am I such an advocate of that? Because my whole life it's been the epicenter of my success. It's been the absolute game changer for me. Taking it upon myself and actually doing my own due diligence on everything. Your life, your work, your education, your finances, everything. Like literally everything. Yeah, cancer sucks. You can say that again, Anthony. Cancer definitely sucks. So the pinned comment is the GoFundMe page for Owen and his family, Owen and Teresa. I wish you nothing but the best. If you have questions today, I'm just going to be taking questions in the chat. We're going to be talking about, as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about something that YouTube just, basically the fund is here. The YouTube Shorts Fund is here. I mentioned this in a couple videos long ago when they first announced it, I think back in May or March, I can't remember. But it's now here. It's now here, and they've released a lot of eligibility requirements. They've released a lot of things that, I kind of foresaw them implementing in order to get paid. And the kind of the broad scope or the range is insane. And this is monthly, they're calling it bonuses, monthly bonuses that you can get. How many people, let me know in the chat, give me a hashtag me, how many people have heard of the YouTube Shorts Fund? Give me a hashtag me. Share this out too, guys, because sharing is caring. I would really, really appreciate it if you could share this stream out. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that like button. And if you're interested, only if you're interested in getting the best information on planet Earth in one place, helping you to earn more, grow faster, and stress less, join the Nez Nation community by subscribing. It's the greatest community on planet Earth, for crying out loud. And so I would love for you to join us, because you don't just get me, who's been in this space for a very, very long time, who's been in communications his whole life, business his whole life, branding his whole life, but you also get this amazing community of content creators, podcasters, live streamers, business owners, professionals, executives sometimes, clients of mine. It's just a fantastic community. So if you're interested in that, only if you're interested in that, I would encourage you to click that subscribe button. So let me just do this, and it looks like one of our special guests is in the audience right now. But let me do this really quickly, and then D, whenever you're ready, brother, I hope you got the link in your email. I sent it to your email. I want to screen share because I want to just talk about. I want to talk about the topic of the show. And again, the pinned comment is the GoFundMe page to help out Owen. If you can contribute anything, 50 cents, $1. I don't know what the minimum is. I think it's $1. $10, whatever you can contribute, it will be greatly appreciated. Okay, so here is the Shorts Fund blog. Let me know if you guys can see this. This is 5 days ago, posted to the YouTube blog here, the YouTube help page. And I'm bringing it up right here on the screen. And you can see by the title, it's here. The YouTube Shorts Fund is here. And so you can say, you can see that it says, earlier this year, we announced the YouTube Shorts Fund, a $100 million fund designed to reward creators who make creative and unique shorts for their contributions. Now, really quickly, remember how I was saying, we were talking about this a long time ago. Hey, Flop, good to see you. I'll answer that question in just a second. Please hang out. I love that question because it's important. And I'll be happy to answer that question. A lot of us were talking about, I talk about how the power of repurposing your short form content on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube, but making sure that you record natively and upload natively rather than having those watermarks. Instagram explicitly stated that they're going to diminish the discoverability of your short form Reels if you have the TikTok logo, because so many people are doing this. They're repurposing with the insignia on there. I think even if you have the app, that there's apps, of course, that reduce and take off that insignia. I just think it's so much easier to just record natively. And people were getting millions of views just by repurposing their TikToks on YouTube Shorts with the insignia on there, right? And that's fine. That's totally fine. Well, guess what? Because YouTube never made it explicit. Hey, Chris Giles in the house. Good to see you, brother. Great to see you, man. Hit that like button. Make sure you share this out on Twitter or wherever you can. I'd greatly appreciate it. Maybe your community tab, too. We're trying to help Owen out as well. Usually we have a questionnaire form in the pinned comment, but the pinned comment now is the GoFundMe page. Helping Owen defeat cancer again. It's come back with a vengeance. And so the community has really come together. I've been inspired by Daryl and Nick and everybody who's been a part of those streams. I was able to attend briefly because I had some obligations yesterday, but what I saw was moving. And so I felt I needed to do something. And this is my small way of hopefully helping and contributing. So if you have questions, leave them in the chat. How to qualify for the YouTube Shorts Fund. Every month, we'll reach out to thousands of creators, asking them to claim a bonus payment from the Shorts Fund based on their channel's total Shorts performance from the previous month. This is really important. So not only are they asking for unique, because look at that first bullet point. Channels must meet these minimum eligibility requirements. Channels uploading non-original content. Okay, this is huge right here. Non-original content or videos re-uploaded from other channels and videos with watermarks or logos from third-party social platforms will not be eligible. This is huge. This is the first time I've seen, I'm going to bring on our awesome guest in just a second. This is the first time I've seen that YouTube has explicitly stated no more repurposing TikToks, no more repurposing from other platforms, no more watermarks, branded content. We're talking native, has to be original to the platform. Let me bring up D. Niman real fast. D, what up, brother? How in the world are you? Good to see you, man.
Professor Nez, I'm in your house now.
Yes, and welcome to our house.
Brother.
You're always welcome in our house, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me on. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing well, and just want to say really quickly, and I know we probably want to talk about this for a second. I briefly mentioned this in the beginning of the show. I'm gonna actually screen share again just to make sure people know what we're talking about. But D, wow, what do you think of what's been happening with this awesome, kind of like coming together of the community to help out our do you mind talking a little bit about this and maybe what your 2 cents are on, how people can help the most and just what you've seen so far? It's been inspiring.
It has been inspiring. For those of you who, maybe if you don't know Owen is an amazing guy. He's the type of guy that no matter where you're at, what time of day, I've been to Vid Summit and VidCon, and I've stayed in rooms with Owen, and I spent a lot of time with Owen, and he's just the type of guy that no matter what time of day it is, no matter what's happening, he's the bright light in the room. He's always positive. He's always there to lift you up and make you laugh, and just an amazing guy. And it's been incredible to watch the community come together to help raise funds for him. I'm sure you've already went over. He's got stage 4 inoperable cancer. Doctors gave him 2 years to live, and he's not accepting that. He's already beat cancer once. He's going to beat it again, and that's what all of this money is for, is to help him with his finances to actually beat it, and for his diet. He's on a very particular diet, and it's quite expensive for that and the supplements that he's taking.
Yeah, I loved the way you said that, D, and I loved his story on his video. I literally just found out about this a couple weeks ago when your brother Nick tweeted out, hey guys, Owen, is going through this again, and then he shared the video on I think it was on his Facebook page, probably his YouTube channel too, where just a beautiful video where he went through the entire kind of gamut. And I love how Daryl positioned this too, because he's on a very, very specific diet, specific, paradigm and pattern for helping to beat this, because the doctors are saying basically it's inoperable, like you said. And I like how Daryl positioned this when I was kind of able to pop in. I had some family stuff going on yesterday, but I love how Daryl positioned this and saying that, like, he has to, it's a very expensive program, with the food and the diet. And it's also taking him away from his business, which is his main source of revenue. So I love the positioning of this. And dude, 77,000, that's insane. That's only 24 hours basically.
Yes.
Isn't that insane, dude?
I love it. People are coming together, so the minimum amount to donate on GoFundMe is $5.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, because I've never given the minimum amount, so I don't know. I wasn't sure if it was $1 or if it was.
It's $5. So even if you don't know Owen and you just want to help the cause, like everything, and if you can't give anything at all, that's fine too. Share this stream out. Share the next stream out. Nick is live. Brian G. Johnson's going to go live. Daniel Battelle is going to be going live. I'm going to be going live tonight. We're all going to be going live, carrying this on our channel. So just retweet. Share this out at the very least.
I love it
where you can.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely fantastic. It's so moving and inspiring to see this community. Yeah, Lewis says community is real, 100%. I absolutely love it. Again, guys, usually I have the pinned comment is the questionnaire form for you guys to leave your questions, but not only is it in the pinned comment, the GoFundMe link, it's also in the description of the video too. And to Dee's point, if you could share that out, and if you could donate anything, it would be much appreciated. It's all for an amazingly good cause. And so please do that if you have a chance. Again, pinned comment and in the description. Dee, I want to talk about this too. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share. I'm going to stop this one, and I'm going to share the screen that I had prior. And by the way, Dee, do me a favor while I'm doing that. Yeah. I'm sure everybody knows who you are, but maybe just give a 2-second bio on who you are and what you do, and make sure, hey mods, drop Dee's channel in the comments, a link to his channel if you don't mind. Go ahead, Dee.
My name is Dee Nimmin, if you don't know who I am, and I have a YouTube channel where I help mobile content creators live stream, make content, and succeed on YouTube.
Awesome. See how simple that is? That's branding, y'all.
Yep.
That's a value prop.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Keep it simple. I love it.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. That's exactly
Short and
right.
sweet.
I love it.
Yep.
Mine is helping you grow your impact and income online. So whether it's advancing your career or growing your business, helping you grow your impact and income online. Simple, short, and sweet. I love it, D. Fantastic.
And you know what's great about that is that those are the things you get known for.
Yes.
Right?
That's
Like,
exactly right.
That's
exactly
what you
right.
get known for. So if somebody, and here's the funny thing. If anyone comes to me and says, hey, I want to, I need a resume, or I want to learn about LinkedIn, two people come to mind, Professor Nez and Judy Fox, right? Like like that's what you're known for.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I love it.
People get known for those certain things. If there's a mobile thing, hey, talk to D. He's a mobile guy. Like, you learn about those things and those things. I always tell people when they're like, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. I'm like, hey, oh, cool. Know who your audience is first and foremost, and then think about what you want to be known for, and then go do that. Right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And it's really all about messaging. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's starting a YouTube channel or whether it's doing well on LinkedIn, which your LinkedIn profile is basically like a website now. Like your profile is your virtual business card. Even career professionals, you have to kind of think like a business, which is you have to serve the people you want to work for, just like a business owner has to serve their clients if they want to stay in business, right? And so the whole thing that I've been doing over the last like 2-3 years, and I know you're going through this too, D, you've been trying to maybe pivot into different things, right? You're talking about cameras more.
Yep.
You want to talk about growing channels more, not just mobile.
Right.
What I've been doing, and this is so cool, D, I wasn't even planning this, just to get your 2 cents. But like what I've been doing is, and I've been getting more, clients this way and more speaking gigs this way. I've been really kind of doing a rebrand which it's still the overarching, it's still under that umbrella, but being a personal branding coach. And so what does that mean? Basically, whether you're looking to advance your career or whether you're looking to grow your business, me being in this space for so long, and like you said, growing my LinkedIn audience over the last 15 years, YouTube's been a huge part of that. My video content has been the engine of all those businesses. I can tell you without a shade of doubt or hyperbole, Nick, D. Sorry, I called him Nick. Sorry,
right.
I made the famous faux pas. But no, D.
My mom did that 2 days ago. So
okay, good.
Okay.
So I'm in good
It's all
company.
No, it happens all the time. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Lewis, for putting D's channel up there too. Yeah, that's D's channel right there. YouTube.com/D Nimmin. D, I actually, it's so interesting to hear you say this because I love everything about helping people do what I did, which was basically leave the public sector, which I have such a big gripe about the universities, and build these online businesses through my video content, through my YouTube channel really fueled my LinkedIn business. This is what I was going to say really quickly was 9 out of 10 clients that I work with, D, they say the reason I chose you, okay, they get a ton of proposals and ton of RFPs. The reason I chose you, Nez, was because of your videos. So they Google me or they search me, right? And they say, wow, Nez talks a lot about branding. He talks a lot about career coaching. He talks a lot about interview tips. He talks about a lot about how to handle the mental vicissitudes of what that entails. And like, it just gives video's so powerful that they say, well, what else does he do? Can I hire this guy? Like, I'd love to hire this guy. I like this guy's energy. And so it's really interesting that you say LinkedIn because lately over the last 2 years, I've been trying to position myself more as a personal branding coach, in a broader sense, but still LinkedIn, YouTube, all of that is underneath that. Excuse me for 1 second. Without fail, as soon as I go live, I start sneezing.
Isn't that weird how that happens?
So
I don't sneeze all day until I go live.
It's so weird. Are you the same way, really? Dude, I don't even know what it is. Like, I haven't sneezed in like 3 years, and all of a sudden I go live. It's like, boom. So how are you, really quickly, before we get to shorts, how are you, because this is relevant to my audience and our audience, how are you kind of transitioning? Because I know you're looking to maybe branch out. I remember the famous Clubhouse where you asked Mr. Beast, and I think Eric, you're like, yeah, man, I want to change my channel a little bit. I was there listening to that. That was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But how are you doing with that? And what have you been what are some takeaways that are helping you do that?
Okay, well, so I started totally focusing on people who only had a phone. If all you have is a phone, and I've got well over 100 videos for people who, if you want to do this on your phone, I got you covered. Video editing apps, live streaming, how to do this, that, and the other thing, how to make a thumbnail, do everything with your phone. What I found is there's a couple things going on here. One is that a large portion of my community, they're now buying cameras, or maybe they're buying an iPad, they're buying their first laptop, and they're transitioning from a phone, which is fine, right? That's part of the process. They're transitioning. And I'm like, wow, I keep sending these people, okay, well now you're learning cameras to go subscribe to this channel now. And I'm thinking, why am I doing this? Like, I understand. I come from a video production background. I have all the cameras, I have all the audio gear, I have all the phones, I have all the stuff. Why am I not helping them along their entire journey? Why have I painted myself into the corner? Now, it's important. Well, it was important when I got started in terms of branding. I've been known as the mobile guy. I give presentations and speeches about mobile phones and all of that stuff, and that's great. I'll still do that. But I need to incorporate things that are going to help people along the way who want to transition out of phones. And there's a personal side to this as well. And you probably know exactly where I'm coming from here, because same with you. You come from a lifetime of experience doing what you do. And I deeply feel that I have so much more I can help people with.
Yes.
Not just with phones,
Yes.
not just technically with the cameras, not just, do A, B, C, D, not just tutorials. And I'm trying to figure out the right step to take to make it all work together, right? I have, I'll be 50 years old next year. I have 20 years experience working in video. I used to have a music production studio. I was a professional musician. I've traveled extensively all over the world. Like, I had this lifetime of experience that I can help people with. I've been making money online since the internet began. So I have all this information I can help people with, and I'm just trying to figure out the right steps to take to make it make sense based on what I already have. So that's where I'm at. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I love that. And I think if anybody's listening right now, I love that, what you just said, D.
Yeah.
If anybody's listening right now, this is like something I talk about a lot, adaptation.
Yes.
You are a multifaceted individual, and there's nothing wrong with having all these different interests and all these different parts of your personality. But to Dee's point, focusing, and we talk about this all the time, niching down, being very narrow and focusing on one specific thing. That's fantastic. You can grow, and you will grow probably a lot faster, but there's nothing wrong with having a value proposition that entails something where you can do like what Daryl Eves talks about, different buckets, right? So, I think career coaching and career advice is a bucket for me. I think, learning how to grow online, get clients, that's a bucket for me. It's all under that value proposition of helping you, hopefully inspiring you to grow your impact and income online, where when I started YouTube, D, I started it off all wrong. And I love sharing this with my audience because hopefully they learn from our mistakes.
Absolutely.
When I started YouTube, it was that kind of throw everything up against the wall. I talked about mental health, mindset, which is something I still believe in. It's something I went through, and I still actually talk about that a little bit because it's relevant. But I threw up everything that was under the sun, and I didn't make it really focused about the audience. And I'm telling you right now, and I know Dee will agree with me, if you do that, do it in a way that identifies something that you feel you can endure and have longevity with. And don't be afraid to, I hate to use the word because it's used all the time, pivot. Don't be afraid to pivot, and just do it in a natural, real way. Like what Dee was saying, I'm trying to find that balance.
Figure it out, yeah.
How do I transition, right? Yeah. And I'll tell you what I did really quickly, Dee, and then I want to we're going to talk about YouTube Shorts Fund, I promise.
It's coming.
But this is so important. It's so relevant because, Dee said, hey, Nez, you're known for resume and LinkedIn. And it's like a part of me is like, that's awesome. But there's also a part of me that's like, well, I do so many other things too.
You're bigger than that.
And so
You're
this
larger
is so
than that.
good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. This is so good. I'll tell you what I did, Dee, and tell me if you think, hey, Nez, I think you did that wrong, because I'm always open to experts like you. I literally, I changed my channel trailer, Dee, and I went, I just talked to my audience. It was a 5-minute, 8-minute video. And I just said, look, here's the deal with my channel. This is what I feel I can do. This is what I feel I can offer. Is that something that you guys dig? Is that something that you guys, if you're here just for the mindset stuff, look, you're going to get more of that. But if you're here for the personal branding stuff, that's something that's going to be like a central focus of the channel moving forward. And I was just really transparent. I was just really honest. And I told them what to expect. And I even said, D, in the video, which I was cringing saying this, I said, if you need to unsubscribe, you know, by all means, I hope you don't. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get to that. Was awesome, by the way. Thank you for sharing that, D.
I think it's a great idea. And the funny thing is, I've considered doing the same thing. I've considered just sitting down with the camera, just hitting record, no editing, and just being like, all right, here's what's going on. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. This is what's about to happen. I just haven't figured out the right way to step through my pivot yet. Once I do, it's going to be all guns blazing.
I'll be happy to help, brother. If you need some ideas to bounce off, I'll be a soundboard for you any day of the week, D.
I appreciate you.
Okay, let's talk about this because this is so huge. Vertical video, YouTube Shorts, the Shorts Fund. I'm going to screen share again, D. But while I'm screen sharing, D, what's your take on this whole idea that the fund is finally here and that it's between $100 and $10,000 a month? Is this realistic? Is this feasible for creators who aren't, you know, Charlie D'Amelio?
Yeah,
What's the realistic side of this? Basically, is my question. What do you think?
Enjoy your $100.
Okay, good. I like that. Yeah.
No, I think any platform that is paying creators in any capacity whatsoever, I think that's a huge bonus. So right out of the gate, this is a win. Where this is going to fall short is not everybody's going to make money. Not everybody's going to make money. YouTube is all about performance. YouTube is about performance. Your long form videos are about performance. Your short form videos, your shorts are about performance. It doesn't matter what platform you're posting on. It's all about performance. So what YouTube is going to do here is they are going to reward performance. So if you're uploading shorts and you're getting a few hundred views or maybe even a couple thousand views, you might not make very much, if anything at all. But if you're knocking shorts out of the ballpark, yeah, I think you're going to make money.
Here's you know what I'm so kind of miffed about a little bit, D, is like, okay, so they say that in that second bullet point, D, they say that all of your shorts videos will count towards your shorts performance each month. Okay. So basically, and then the third bullet point, the level of performance needed, they don't talk about specifically, at least, D, and I know there's a history of this. What does that mean? Like, are they looking at average view duration? Are they looking at APV, average percentage viewed? Are they looking at, engagement, comments? What are they looking at? You know what I mean? Like I know they're looking at total performance. The first thing I think of is with long form content, it's CTR, average view duration, average percentage viewed, and then average view per viewer. The session time is almost, I would say, in my opinion, D, I'd love your thoughts. I think session time is maybe even more important than watch time, but they don't specify what they mean by performance. What do you think of that, D? Do you have any insights on that, you think?
Well, we know that Shorts has a completely different algorithm than your long form content does. It's its own beast. It's its own entity that stands alone. And people are also not clicking on Shorts necessarily. You know, Shorts, like same on TikTok, it's a swiping thing, right?
Yeah.
When someone goes to YouTube and they open up their homepage, here's a bunch of thumbnails presented in front of them based on what YouTube thinks the viewer wants to watch. This is what we think you want to watch, right?
Right.
Or if you search for something, this is what we think that you want to watch, right? That's what YouTube does. It's trying to predict what the viewer wants to watch.
Right.
With Shorts, it does that to some degree for the very first short that it shows you on the short shelf. But once you're in there, once you click on that first short, it's just a swiping thing. So you're not actually saying, hey, I want to watch this short. You're just swiping through there, and then whatever short just happens to show up. There's a lot of randomness happening there. So what do they mean? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I'm going to say views.
Yeah.
I'm going to say views on this because while you can look at your average view duration on shorts, I mean, you know, it can be up to 60 seconds, but does that really matter? Like if you've got a 30-second short, I mean, are they really going to look at that metric? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
In session time, because of the way Shorts is set up with swiping, I like to say short form content is like the Tinder of of video. You know, it's just swipe left, swipe right, right? But it's up and down. It just happens so fast. So my guess is it's going to happen on views, right? They're going to look at views, because if you look at some of these shorts in the short shelf, some of them have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. Those are the ones that are going to get rewarded with the most money in the short shelf.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I love the way you said that. Yeah, I almost feel like, here's what's really interesting about that, D, is I want to show you guys something on a channel that I manage and run. How many people in the chat right now? This is what I want to hear. How many people in the chat right now have what the typical, and I'd love to hear from you too, D, like if you have this too, but I want to also get the chat involved too. How many people in the chat right now have that typical short starts off nothing, then you see the Superman incline, right? That huge incline, and then plateau. Give me a hashtag me in the chat if you have experienced that, which I have with the majority of my shorts. D, have you experienced a lot of that, D? That sort of here, I'm going to share this real fast, because this is can you guys see this right now, D?
Yep.
This is a short. This is the first short on a channel that I manage and run. This is the first short that has actually stayed on the short shelf. It was published July 12th. It's got 22.3 thousand views. I just took this screenshot, by the way. And you can see the top traffic source is the shorts feed. This, and by the way, this video, D, the average percentage viewed is like 87%, which for a short, that's not good. Most shorts have like 300, 250% average percentage viewed. I cannot think of why. I'm trying to tell this client, I don't even know why this is performing the way it is. Like, D, like it's just insane. I don't know what it is that's keeping this. All I know is that we need to be more consistent and listen to our audience the best that we can. But I have no idea why this video is performing so well.
Well, it's the shorts that are around it. It's the shorts that are being shown around this short. Somebody's swiping through, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody's watching this multiple times. Maybe they're looping it through.
Yeah.
But it's just compared to other shorts that this short is being shown with, it's performing relatively well.
Yeah.
That's why it's staying in there. And yes, what you're seeing here with the delayed rise on your short, that's very common. Seems to be two ways, right? Some people will upload a short and it just hits the short shelf and it's off and running. Some people have to wait weeks, and now some people are waiting months. And then out of the blue, like a rocket ship, it's off and running.
Wow.
So yeah, that's YouTube for you, right?
I think I was just going to say that. You stole the words right out of my mouth, D. That's YouTube, isn't it? Like, it's always seems like it just takes a while to kick in. Like I like to say my videos are like wine. They age well they age a lot better than other platforms.
I always say, like, we're video farmers planting seeds.
That's it. That's perfect. Video farmers. Hashtag video farmers. Put that in there.
Yeah. We're just planting seeds, and you know what? Sometimes you have a great harvest. Sometimes it doesn't work out so well.
And by the way, if you guys have any questions for our awesome guest, I don't want to monopolize Dee's time. Because I know Dee's got a lot of stuff going on, and he was nice enough, gracious enough at the last second, really. I asked him, hey, brother, would love to have you be a part of this, because every time I think, talk about branding, every time I think of not only video content, but more particularly vertical 9:16 aspect ratio video, I think of my man, D. Niven. There's nobody else I think of. I know there's other vertical video people out there. And, I made a bold prediction, D. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Look at this. Hashtag video farmers. It's all coming in now. Hashtag video farmers. I love it.
Yeah, man.
I made a bold prediction, D, and I'm probably going to talk about this at the People of Video conference, which I'll be speaking at. I think vertical video, I think TikTok has created a culture. We all know that YouTube is reacting. We all know that Instagram is reacting. Even Facebook now is saying you can monetize videos under 60 seconds or less now. They're trying to get in the game now too. And by the way, guys, higher CPMs on Facebook. A lot of you guys might not know this, but you get higher CPMs on average, depending on your niche, on Facebook. And with the Apple thing that's going on, I think organic reach is going to come back on Facebook. But no, I made a bold prediction, D, that I think that vertical video and what TikTok has created, not only is it the future, but I think it's the now. And I just don't think it's going to go anywhere because it's really no friction. There's no bottleneck in creating content. My wife, who's not a content creator, she creates content on TikTok. And that's why it's so popular. What do you have to say about that? What are your thoughts on the future of vertical video? Is it a fad? Is YouTube Shorts a fad? Is TikTok a fad? What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, the rise of a platform like TikTok is that there is no more barrier to entry. Everyone has a phone. Everyone has an internet connection, or at least knows someone with an internet connection everywhere in the world. You can go into the villages of Thailand where I live. They have a phone, right? So here's something interesting. I love to travel. I used to travel to Cuba 20 years ago, right?
Wow.
Cuba's completely shut off. And the last time I'd been to Cuba, I think it was 15 years ago, right? It was my last trip to Cuba prior to the one before the world shut down. Oh, wow. So my last trip to Cuba, people didn't have mobile phones. That wasn't a thing. They didn't have the internet there, so on and so forth. I went there before the world shut down, and we arrived, and it was nighttime, and we had to take our taxi through Old Havana, and we had to drive through the streets. And the last time I was there, if you'd go through the streets, people were hanging out. Somebody was sitting on their steps playing guitar. Sometimes they'd be dancing, having, just sitting around drinking or something. Not a lot to do in Cuba. This time, to my absolute amazement, everybody was sitting on their steps. Right, it's hot there. Everybody's sitting on their steps on a phone with the glow up on their face. So we're like driving down the street, and there's not a lot of street lights in Old Havana, but you'd see all these people sitting on the steps with this glow of their smartphone coming up on their face. And I was like, oh my God. That at that very moment, it hit me that literally, no matter where you're at in the world, maybe except North Korea, you now have a voice.
Yeah.
You now have a voice. And while internet is not easily available there are places you can go to get internet in Cuba. So you have all of these people with phones. They've all got access to the internet now. And I was just thinking, even in this part of Cuba where they don't have a lot of money, their relatives in Miami or wherever, they're sending them phones. Everybody has a voice. Everybody in the world has a voice now because of that. And TikTok, you don't have to think about editing. You don't have to think about, I need lights, I need all of this fancy gear. No. I don't even care how crappy your phone is or what model it is. If it has a video camera, you can now make content. Your voice can be heard. Your message.
Sometimes the crappier the better.
Oh, there's truth to that.
Yeah.
You look at a lot of viral content online. A lot of it's made with a phone, or it's
right.
made to look like it's made with a phone. Right. Versus very well slicked produced stuff sometimes doesn't translate that well.
I love it.
There's something about the authenticity that's made with a phone. It just feels real.
That's why I like live streaming, D, because live streaming is tolerant of imperfection.
Yes.
And if I'm hearing you correctly, D, you're basically saying the same thing. Vertical video is maybe more tolerant, the medium that's maybe the most tolerant of imperfection.
There's more authenticity there.
Yeah.
There's more authenticity there.
Yeah.
You grab your phone, whatever, and speak your truth, whatever that may be. Entertainment, tell your story, whatever that may be. And people are connecting with that. And there's something weird that happens with vertical video. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a fan of horizontal video. And
me too.
If you're making, if you're on YouTube and you're not making shorts, I believe your content should be made horizontally.
Yes.
But if you're on short form platforms, make it vertically. And there's something that happens with that, and it fills the entire screen. And I think it creates a more immersive, intimate experience. Good point. Think we're resonating with that because it's almost like you're FaceTiming someone. Right?
I love that.
If you FaceTime a friend, what does it do? It fills up your entire screen. Yeah. And you're just like, hey, whatever. I'm on TikTok. The entire screen is filled. So when somebody's speaking to me, I don't know, man. There's a weird connection thing that happens there that I don't think anybody really planned it. It just kind of worked out that way. So
totally.
It's here to stay. It's now. And if you're not on the short form content train, it is leaving the station with or without you.
Yep.
So you can either leverage it to build your brand, to build your business, to reach an audience that doesn't know you exist. You can use short form content or watch everybody else use it. It's up to you.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey, D, do you have a couple minutes to answer a few questions?
I have all for you. I'm here all day. You just let me know.
I love it. Everybody give me a hashtag DRocks in the chat right now. How much value are you getting? We haven't even, it's so interesting too, D, and I'm going to get to your question too, typical Tyreek as well. It's so interesting. Like, I don't have super thanks yet either, D, but like with the fund and with super thanks and super chats and merch shelf that's integrated into YouTube now, it just seems to me that YouTube has really taken the helm of helping creators turn their content into a business. And I hope to God that, you're starting to see TikTok analytics. You're starting to see more transparency with TikTok. I hope to God that these vertical video platforms, Instagram needs to really, I think, up their game when it comes to monetization. I'm hoping that these vertical platforms start to kind of pay heed and take heed of what's happening across YouTube. I think YouTube's doing a phenomenal job. I'm not crazy about the 30% cut, but at least they're offering more. It seems to me more diversity for revenue streams. Sabrina Tika on LinkedIn. I hope I'm saying that right, Sabrina. If I mispronounce that, I humbly apologize. Sabrina Tika says, "Hey D, what are some tips on getting started with YouTube Shorts, or I'm assuming vertical video?" And then typical Tyreek has a great question as well. And then we'll let D get on with his with his day. I really am so grateful you're here, brother.
Tips to getting started would be pick up your phone, think about the type of content that you want to make. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel or not already. I don't know if you're uploading a particular type of content. But if you do have one particular type of content on your YouTube channel, the shorts that you create should be similar. So what's going to happen when you start uploading shorts? And it was a real interesting thing. Professor Nez, I don't know if you can show that screenshot again where you showed how the short was lifting off. Are you able to show that again? Because I want to bring something to your attention there. And you muted yourself there. Professor Nez, I think you muted yourself. Okay, so while I don't know what he's doing there. So if you have one particular type of content on your channel, the shorts, Professor, I still can't hear you.
Oh, I apologize. I was on mute.
There you go.
So I actually deleted it, but then I went back and got it on the preview.
Perfect.
Yeah, go ahead.
So make sure your shorts are in alignment with the type of content you're making for your long form content. And here's why. So if you go over to the right-hand side, you see real time. Go down a little bit further. These are the top traffic sources. Now, for Professor Nez right here, he's getting the most traffic from the shorts feed. That means it's ending up in the short shelf. However, go down a little bit further. He's got 22% coming from browse features. That means when people are just opening up the YouTube app or opening up YouTube, it's showing up just like any other video would. Underneath that, unknown or direct. So that could also come from anything from inside of YouTube, inside or outside of YouTube. Then you got suggested videos. So that could be like a watch next type of video. That means that that short is being treated like any other video. It just happens to be a short video. It just happens to be a vertical video. So if you total those other percentages up, he's getting half of the views outside of the short shelf. So, this is the thing you need to think about is make sure that the content is in alignment with what's happening on your channel, because you're going to reach a new audience with YouTube Shorts, people who don't know you exist yet. And you want to make sure that they are interested in your long form content as well. Now, I just saw your answer pop up. You do not have a YouTube channel yet. So then here's what I'd recommend. Think about who you want to make content for. Think about what type of content you want to make. Think about what you want to be known for on the platform. Just grab your phone. Don't think about subscribers. Don't think about views. Don't worry about anything, because you have to learn a new skill. Right? You have to learn how to make content now. You have to learn how to communicate in front of the camera. You have to learn how to choose the right topics and make the right videos that people are interested in. So what I want you to do is just grab your phone and just say whatever you want to say. Whatever it is. If you're trying to teach people, if you're trying to motivate people, just hit record. Say what you need to say, and then put it up there and make YouTube Shorts with it. I also recommend, since you already have that piece of content, create a TikTok account. Upload that same piece of content over to TikTok. And while we're talking about this, can you show the rules for the YouTube monetization? Because there's a lot of confusion going on right now about exclusivity with YouTube.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll show that again. Yeah, I apologize. I actually, let's see. Let me. I'll find it in just a second here. Yeah, keep going, D.
Yeah. Grab your phone, speak your truth, whatever that truth may be, upload that video, and then the next day, do it again. And then the next day, do it again. At your point, or your stage here in your creator career, you haven't started making content yet, so you have a lot to learn.
There it is, right there.
Okay, don't overthink anything at this point. I want you to build the habit of recording videos and publishing videos. Build that habit. You're going to figure it out along the way. The most important thing is just to start recording. Now, you're going to see here, let me scroll through. Let's look for the eligibility where it says that you can't have a watermark and all of that.
That's right there at the first bullet point right there. Can you see that, D?
There it is. Okay. Channels must meet the requirements. Channels uploading non-original content, videos re-uploaded from other channels, and videos with watermarks and logos from third-party social media platforms will not be eligible. Okay, a lot of people are reading this and they're thinking that YouTube wants this short to be exclusive to YouTube. That's not the case. They want it to be original. They don't need it to be exclusive to YouTube. So what you'd want to do is create that short for YouTube first, then upload it to other short form platforms. You can create a TikTok account
natively, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You can upload to Instagram Reels or IGTV. There are other short form platforms as well. You know what? If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, Professor Nez, if you want to put if you want to make me full screen here, let me show you my phone.
Yes, absolutely.
If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, here are other platforms: Likey, Byte, Dub Smash, and Triller. These are like TikTok. These are other short form platforms, and they're not as popular. That means there's still tons of room to grow over there. Some people are building huge audiences over on these smaller platforms. So,
love it.
Yeah.
I was also going to say this too, D. Like I mentioned this at the top of the show. I love the way you just reiterated this. That we used to talk about. We used to see a lot of YouTube shorts that would just, skyrocket, that were just literally repurposed TikToks with the logo and everything. But that Instagram made it very explicit that we're going to reduce discoverability if you have that watermark. YouTube never explicitly stated it, but I remember talking about this weeks ago. I guarantee you YouTube's going to say one of these days, do not show those watermarks. We want original content. And lo and behold.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what's happening. This is their way of, without saying, hey, don't go steal everybody's content. This is their way of saying your content is no longer welcome on the platform. This is right.
Get at it. In Italian words, we say, get out of here.
Get out of here. Instagram was very upfront about it. Hey,
they were very upfront.
Very upfront. If you're reposting TikTok videos, we're not going to surface your content. Short says, hey, you can upload that content all day long. We're just not going to pay you for it. So
exactly. Okay, that was a great answer, D, to Sabrina. I think, and I think everybody got a ton of value from that. Typical Tyreek, if you're still here, give me a hashtag me. We have a question from. This is a great question. Do we have to implement the same strategies on shorts that we do on a normal video? For example, adding tags, hashtags, using platforms like TubeBuddy that help with that. This is such a good question because I can't wait to hear what Dee's answer is, because I get this question all the time. Dee, take it away, brother.
Remember how we just showed the statistics of Professor Nez's short that was going up, and we talked about the different traffic sources. Because of those different traffic sources, I would treat shorts just like you would any other video in terms of coming up with a good, compelling title, writing your description, doing everything that you would on any other video, because you are going to get traffic from browse. You are going to get traffic from suggested. You are going to get traffic from search. You are going to get external traffic as well. You're going to get traffic outside of the short shelf. So because of that, treat it just like you would any other video. If you end up in the short shelf, that's bonus traffic. So
love it. And by the way, just to kind of piggyback on what I used a Clubhouse term. I'm going to piggyback on Dee's point.
You're going to circle back around and piggyback.
Circle back around. Let me reset the room. No, but Dee was talking about traffic sources. Guys, if you're serious about YouTube, and by the way, TikTok and Facebook has retention graphs. Facebook has analytics. TikTok is getting a little bit deeper with analytics. Everybody's basically trying to copy YouTube because YouTube analytics and Google Brain, there's nothing like Google Brain on the planet. It's the best. And I'm sure Dee would agree with me there. And so guess what? What Dee was talking about earlier and what he just said right now, browse and suggested. I wish I had more browse and suggested on my main channel. The channel that I just took the screenshot, D, and everybody listening, that channel is so niche, you'd never in a million years believe how niche. It's so niche, it's almost niched out. And so that channel, we don't share it on Twitter. We don't share it on Facebook. We don't do ads. We don't promote it. We don't even talk. We upload and let YouTube do the rest. Why? Because, and I'm sure this is talked about in the YouTube formula too. I'm sure Dee will agree with this. Why? Because YouTube wants to find the right video for the right viewer at the right time. That's how YouTube works. And if you're clear and you're specific, YouTube's going to go, wait a minute, there's a lot of other people that like mobile, content ideas and mobile content creation. Now my main channel is all search. It's practically,
sure.
I get a little bit of browse. Is yours like that too, D?
I'm 80% search because
I think I'm even higher. Yeah.
I'm a tutorial based channel.
Utility, right? Utility channel.
That doesn't do well. When my videos show up in with browse traffic, my click-through rate is terrible. You don't open up YouTube and go, oh yeah, I do want to learn how to edit on my iPhone today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not what my channel's about. If I could, I would be probably 10 times the size, 10 times larger than I am. But you have a utility type channel, you're primarily going to get search traffic.
Yeah, I mean, you could if you like Dee's personality, which we all do, YouTube is going to say, hey, if you like this video, they will recommend. He did another video about, this is what you can do with your mobile phone. This is what you can do with YouTube Shorts. And I actually get recommended Dee's videos on my recommendation feed, and I watch them.
That's right.
And I get recommended other utility channels too. Nate from Channel Makers, I love him. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's man. He just came out of nowhere. He's got a great way of communicating. The way
I love it. I love it.
Things down. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get recommended I never search for his videos. As a matter of fact, every time I go watch YouTube, guys, this is something to think about. Every time I go watch YouTube, I don't search for anything. I literally don't search for anything. I love my little delicious carousel of recommended videos. Dee's in there, Nick's in there, even Daryl's in there. And I love my little delicious carousel. I don't search for anything. If you think about what Dee's saying here when he talks about being specific, this is not just ho-hum, whatever. Paul Peck is a perfect example. Paul Peck is here right now. When you think of drywall, who do you think of?
Paul Peck.
You think of Paul Peck.
Hands
down.
Paul
Peck doesn't do a cooking video and then a video on here's some investment strategies. He doesn't do a video about, here's me, in my home dressing up and this kind of shirt I wear. He's not doing fashion. He does very specific content, which is why he grew. I wish to God somebody would have told me this when I first started.
I got 2 words for you. What do you think about, that's not 2 words. 2 words, Roger Wakefield.
Plumbing.
Plumber.
That's it. The plumber guy.
The plumber guy.
The plumber guy. Exactly.
What
That's
do you
it.
want to be known for, right?
Exactly. It's that's branding. That's messaging. And I know what it feels like, creators. I know it because Dee and I feel this way too. Dude, Dee does music. Dee does so many different things. Video production. He knows all about cameras, lenses. He's been in business online forever. I've been in communication. I've been in sales. I've been in marketing, branding my whole life. But, I threw everything around when I first started. And that's why I'm starting these newer channels and they're growing exponentially. Why? Because I'm following that absolute essentiality, which is give YouTube a clear message who you are and who you serve. And guess what, guys? It's the only platform I know of. YouTube does all the heavy lifting for you. YouTube will do all the heavy lifting for you if you're really, really focused. Now, don't get me wrong. Dee will agree with me on this too. It takes a crap ton of work.
Yes.
But trust me, when you do the thumbnail title and then you do the content and it's all economical and you're serving your audience, I know Dee will agree with me. Once you put in that hard work and you click upload and you optimize it, YouTube does the rest. I love it.
It does. And the thing that a lot of people get wrong, when we first get started on YouTube, we don't yet understand how to communicate with our audience.
Yes.
We're just making videos. I can make graphics. So I'm using Canva or I'm using this app or I'm using Photoshop. I can make a thumbnail. But are you making a thumbnail that gets clicked? No. You don't have the skills yet to understand how to make sticky thumbnails that people can't help but click. You don't yet have the skills to write titles that are going to get people's interest. You don't yet have the skills to make a really strong hook at the beginning of the video to pull people in to get them watching. You don't yet have the skills to learn how to edit and properly communicate to get people to watch more of your video, to get people watching longer. You don't have the skills yet. I mean, it's like if I tossed you a basketball and you've never played basketball before, and you're like, hey, I want to go play in the NBA. I've got a basketball. No, that's not how it works. You have to learn the plays. You got to learn everything about basketball. And then maybe you'll play for a team later on, but you're not going to be in the NBA for quite some time. It takes time. There are skills you have to learn. Well, like Professor Nez said, once you learn those skills, once you understand what's going on, and once you do those things and you upload that thing to YouTube, having understood what you did, YouTube does the heavy lifting from there. YouTube says, okay, we have this. We know exactly who to put it in front of. And then
guys,
the
I love
pieces
it.
of the puzzle start to go in there.
I love it. And guys, and I know Dee will agree with me, and I'm sure most people will too. Great to see Stella from the, I love it, the Go Fish community. Great to see you guys here. Stella, thank you so much. Toy Man's Bar and Grill, love to see you guys. Just a quick shout out to you guys. But guys, what Dee's saying and what we're talking about with YouTube doing all the heavy lifting, you guys, it's not that different from not only any other platform, but your business. Your business doesn't exist if you don't know your customers. Your YouTube channel doesn't exist if you don't know your audience. So who is the differentiator? It's not you, it's your audience, it's your customers. Right, Dee?
100%. And you know what? How many people in the chat right now are confused about the YouTube algorithm? Or maybe you're thinking, well, YouTube loves to suppress small creators.
Put a hashtag me if you're confused about the algorithm. Be honest, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to break this down. And a lot of people think, well, YouTube suppresses small creators. They don't want small creators to grow, or we don't have a chance as a small creator. A lot of people come onto the platform and they have this mentality because they don't fully understand how YouTube works yet. And if there's anybody in the chat, I just want to break those myths down and explain how YouTube works. And then I want to give you a little thing that you can do so you can test this yourself. Okay, so first and foremost, here's how the YouTube algorithm works. Essentially, all it's trying to do is predict what a viewer wants to watch next. Simplified, that's all the YouTube. And there's multiple algorithms. There are algorithms, but the algorithms are for the viewer. The algorithms are not for you. They're not for me. They're not for Professor Nez. They're for the viewer. YouTube is trying to predict what the viewer wants to watch next. So here's what happens when a channel of any size, my channel, your channel, Professor Nez's channel, Sweeney Dunstan's channel, Paul Peck's channel, it doesn't matter what size your channel is. The moment you upload a video, YouTube starts collecting data from that video from the people that they show it to. Now you might be saying, okay, well, I'm hardly getting any views. I only get 15 views on a video. That might be true. So here's what you want to do. You want to go into YouTube Studio and you want to look for a metric called impressions click-through rate. Your impressions is how many people YouTube actually showed your thumbnail to, your video, right? Impressions is how many people YouTube showed that to. Your click-through rate is what percentage of those people actually clicked in to watch the video. So you might only have 15 views, but you might have 100 impressions, okay? So YouTube immediately starts taking data. Second you upload that video, they start showing it to somebody. Maybe you only have 5 impressions. Maybe it's really low, and that's fine. But what YouTube says, hey, we just showed this thumbnail to 5 people. 4 of those people didn't click on it. We showed it to 5, 4 didn't even click. The one who did clicked, they watched about 10 seconds and clicked off. Those are all negative signals sent to YouTube. And YouTube says this video wasn't very popular to 5 people, so why would we show it to 10 people? Why would we show it to 100 people? Now, the opposite happens. They show it to 5 people, 4 of those people click on that thumbnail and they watch at least half of the video. YouTube says, wow, those 4 people, they kind of like that video. Let's show it to 10 people. Wow, those 10 people kind of like the video. Let's show it to 50. Wow, those 50 people like it. Let's show it to 1,000. So on and so forth. So positive signals will make your video grow. Negative signals will kill your video. It will completely kill your video. Now, there are some things here that happen. Say you upload a video and the timing is off. That it's just topically not the right time. It's not relevant. Maybe you upload a video on how to bake a turkey and it's nowhere near the Thanksgiving or Christmas. And YouTube says, yeah, nobody's really interested in learning how to bake a turkey right now. So that your video dies. But what happens around Thanksgiving is all of a sudden that video becomes relevant again. How many people have uploaded a video, it's dead, and then out of nowhere it gets a lift, right? That video, there's some relevance now to that video. Okay, well now people are looking for how to bake a turkey. Let's test this video one more time. They put it in front of an audience. Well, here we're going to put it in front of 5 people. Wow, all 5 people clicked on that because they wanted to learn how to bake a turkey this time. Now the video is relevant. Now the video has legs. It's up and running. That's how YouTube works in a nutshell. YouTube wants people to watch your videos. Why? Because they want to put ads on your videos. YouTube makes money through advertising. They want every single creator on the platform to get views. They want your video to get views. The problem is, like I said before, you lack the skills to get the click. You lack the skills to get people to watch your videos. That's all it is. So keep making content, keep learning, learn from your analytics, keep getting better, practice your thumbnails. I would say practice your thumbnails and practice your hook and practice your editing. Stop worrying about subscribers. Stop worrying about views. If you learn how to master thumbnails that get clicked, you learn how to master your hook, you learn how to master your edit, you learn how to communicate with your audience. You don't have to worry about subscribers. You don't have to worry about views because YouTube does what it's supposed to do. Those things will come naturally if you master the things that matter. And I know that was a really long answer, but I wanted to break that down because there's a lot of misconceptions about what YouTube is and what YouTube isn't.
That was a YouTube masterclass. That was phenomenal, D. That was phenomenal. I hope you guys don't need to really, you don't need to worry anymore about YouTube if you really followed that step by step. And this is a great question from Sam. Sam, before I get to that question, probably one of the, and by the way, D, that was awesome, and I couldn't agree more. And I don't think a lot of people even know. What does impressions really mean? And to break that down, and also impression click-through rate. What is impression click-through rate? All those things that people have in their analytics, and you hear a lot of people, even on Clubhouse, say, well, go look at your analytics. What does that mean, go look at your analytics? So, what D just did right there is break it down.
I'm going to simplify this with a little fun experiment that everybody can do. So I just told you the basics of how, and everything, that was a simplified example, but that's how it works, right? That's how it works. YouTube will also reward you if you can get people to watch multiple pieces of content. Now, here's what I want you to do. This is YouTube in a nutshell right here. Take your phone, log out of the YouTube app, not the YT Studio app, the actual YouTube app that shows video. Log out of it. And then go watch 3 of Professor Nez's videos. Go watch 3 of his videos, or go watch 3 of my videos. Watch them to the end. Don't subscribe. Don't log in. And then watch what YouTube does. Go do this with any channel that you want. Go watch 2 or 3 of their videos. Don't subscribe. Don't engage. Don't give a thumbs up. Don't leave a comment. Don't do anything other than watch 2 or 3 videos to the end, and then watch what YouTube does. It will start showing you more of what it thinks you want to watch next. If you just went and watched 3 of Professor Nez's videos, guess what YouTube's going to do? Even though you're not subscribed, even though you didn't give it a thumbs up, even though you didn't leave a comment, YouTube's going to say, wow, this viewer really likes Professor Nez's videos. They just watched 3 of them in a row. YouTube is going to go out of their way to make sure that when you open up your YouTube app, guess who's going to be sitting there waiting for you? Professor Nez. That's the YouTube algorithm. It's trying to predict what you want to watch next. Everybody can test that. You can see exactly how it works. So you can start to think about your strategy on how you can get people to watch multiple pieces of content on your channel so that you don't have to ask them to subscribe. YouTube does the work for you. YouTube will do everything for you.
Yes.
If you learn how to make the right content and how to lead people through your channel and get them to watch multiple pieces of content.
YouTube doesn't succeed unless we succeed.
Yep.
So in order for YouTube to succeed, that's why they reward. To me, it's the ultimate meritocracy. Like if I used to work at the university, right, and I still teach part-time, just very, very part-time. Like, if a teacher wasn't delivering, if a professor wasn't delivering, which 99% of them don't, they were just sitting there cushy, tenured, kind of program, and never worry about getting fired, never worry about innovating, never worry anything. If you don't have good content on YouTube and nobody watches it, nobody clicks on it, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anywhere. And so what Dee is saying here is so powerful, because not only are they looking at, so if he likes Professor Nez's, or he or she likes Dee Niman's channel, well, hey, next time they come to that homepage, we're going to throw some more thumbnails. We're going to throw some more of Dee's videos. They're also looking at what you pass up. They're also looking at what maybe you click on not interested, or you just happen to whiz by it. People talk about, like, I think Daryl talked about this recently. Like, how does Mr. B succeed when he has a 3% CTR? But you don't understand, and this is a good question from Sam. He's getting a 3% CTR on like 10 billion impressions. That's how he's getting 60 million views or 20 million views. So if your CTR rate is going down, perhaps that could also mean your impressions are going higher. We could get into this forever, D. This is so good, but I want to.
Huge conversation.
It's such a huge, and D, I want to have you come back, because I think a YouTube masterclass. I wish I would have known this information when I first started. I think a YouTube masterclass, and when breaking it down, maybe even going through the analytics and screen sharing would be so powerful. So, how many people want to see? Give me in the chat. Give me a hashtag yeah if you want to see Dee Niman come back and Dee and I do like a YouTube masterclass and just talk about things. I mean, me and Dee could talk about this for hours because we love talking about it, and I'm so obsessed with YouTube.
I want to add one more thing to that little test that I was just talking about, how logging out and watching the content. So if you watch 3 videos, it could be 2, could be 3, however many, but it's not a science. You got to watch 2. Watch a couple of the videos. So not only is YouTube going to show you more Professor Nez's videos, it's going to show you more channels like Professor Nez as well. This is the importance of niching down and not just throwing a bunch of stuff up on the wall. The more YouTube knows what your channel is about, it starts to group different audiences together. So it says, okay, you like Professor Nez. Well, there's a whole bunch of other people who like Professor Nez that also like these other channels. That's how they recommend these other channels to you as well. So, man, I can't stress this enough.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you so much, Luxury Hybrid, for the $2.99.
Thank you.
Super, is that a super chat or a super sticker? It might be a super chat. But either way, we really appreciate it. Thank you. Hashtag yeah. I really I do that a lot. I do the yeah. Thank you so much. Hey, good to see you, Angie, in the house. So Brian is here. Brian asked, and by the way, D, what we just did right there and what you just talked about, I love the experiment idea too. That's so good, because it really gives you that visceral, real-time experience. One thing I talk about a lot on Clubhouse, D, is like, you guys, I've been on YouTube since 2016 or late 2015, and I'm still learning from guys like D, guys like Nick. Like, you got to wear the clothes of YouTube. You got to, when you buy a brand new pair of shoes, it takes a while until they're comfortable. You got to break them in. Same thing with YouTube. Don't just expect to get a book or a course and then all of a sudden you got it figured out. You have to wear the clothes. You have to experience editing. You have to experience audience feedback. You have to experience the algorithm, experience the analytics, experience, as John Locke, the great philosopher, once said, experience is the ultimate professor. There's no professor that comes close as the professor of experience. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many classes you take. Experience is the ultimate teacher. D, we got a great question, because this is a question I get all the time too. Yep. And I actually experimented with this and it failed miserably. Okay. Do you have to, Brian asks, and great to see you, Brian, do you have to start a separate shorts channel? Is there a strategy there? Is it smart to do that? Does it matter?
If you don't have a massively huge channel, I don't think it's any benefit to start a second shorts channel if the content that you're uploading for shorts is similar to your long form content. That's key. If your long form content is maybe you have a fitness channel, right? Your long form content is, I have a fitness channel. I teach people how to lose weight, how to get fit, so on and so forth. Your shorts should be similar content, right? You don't want to have a fitness channel and you upload shorts on how to rebuild your carburetor, right? There's a disconnect there. And when people find your shorts, right, and you're going to reach a whole new audience through shorts, when they come over to your channel and they subscribe, they're going to, wait a minute, I subscribed because I want to see your car videos, and now you've got all this fitness stuff. That's not what I signed up for. Mm-hmm. So if your shorts are in alignment with your long form content, you don't need a second channel. Why you see so many monster channels creating additional shorts channels is because when shorts was first rolled out, nobody really knew just yet how shorts was going to play with the main channel. Nobody knew. So people with, millions of subscribers, they didn't want to take any chances with messing up their channel. So they created second channels. Now, if you want to create a second channel, that's fine too. This isn't a right or wrong answer, but if the content is in alignment with your value proposition and the content that you're currently making with your long form content, I don't see any reason why to put it on your second channel.
All the more reason to make sure that you have a narrow focus. You have tunnel vision with your channel, and it's so simple and clear at first glance that your ideal viewer, your ideal avatar, oh, okay, so mobile content creation. Oh, okay, YouTube Shorts. Oh, okay, mobile editing. Oh, okay, mobile lighting. It's very simple. And it's very, I think human beings, that's why I say the most important gear is between your ears. We complicate things. It's not complicated.
So
go ahead,
many
D.
people are concerned about shorts. Here's what I want you to do. Don't overthink shorts. Just make the content that's in alignment with the rest of the content that's on your channel. Don't overthink it. Just make it and put it up there. Instead of overthinking about shorts, I want you to instead create an account over on TikTok and upload that same piece of content over on TikTok. Create an account over on Dubsmash or Likey or Byte or one of these other platforms that I held up before. Put content over there as well. You already have the piece of content. Put it up over there because you never know where you're going to grow an audience. I've seen some channels that are struggling with YouTube take the same content, put it on TikTok or these other platforms, and completely blow up over there. And the opposite has happened. I've been trying to work with a TikTok star who's making viral hit after viral hit after viral hit on TikTok. They can't get any traction at all with YouTube Shorts. Zero. So it works going both ways. You never know where you're going to find an audience.
I feel like D, you read my mind. I really do. I feel like D and Nez. I feel like the Nez and D show. Well, D and Nez. I think the Nez and D show needs to happen because
we need a podcast.
We literally do. I'm not even kidding you, D. Like our chemistry and the way our brains work, and the fact that we're both the same age. I think that helps. But like D, like I literally said this on last week's stream. I go, I would recommend what I tell my clients too, D, is because I think everybody's all of these features are reactions to TikTok.
Yes.
I truly believe in my heart, because there is no thinking on TikTok. I truly believe in my heart that's a great testing ground. It's a great experimental ground. And I think if you're good at TikTok, you're going to be good at Shorts and Instagram Reels. And so, D, you just literally nailed it right on the head. I want to screen share really fast just to remind people that, usually I have the pinned comment is a questionnaire form that you can fill out to ask questions. This is Office Hours with yours truly. I'm your personal branding coach, Professor Nez. I'm joined by the amazing, the phenomenal D. Nimmin. And
too kind.
Yeah. And so I wanted to just screen share and just kind of remind us of, what I said at the top of the show is that one of our fellow brethren, Owen Video, who we all know, we all love, is going through a great ordeal right now, and the community has really come together. I'm going to refresh this because I think when we started, D, it was at, I think, 74 or 71. It's now gotten to, I know other channels, somebody said Brian G is doing a live stream right now. Nick is probably still doing it. Roberto, I'm sure. Daryl, everybody's still helping out, all these great creators. And the pinned comment, and it's also in the description of this video, and D, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the minimum is $5, right?
It is. That is correct.
So anything you can offer, anything at all, we're trying to get to that goal. And I think it's going to happen sooner than later. We're trying to get to that goal of 150,000 to help out our great friend Owen, who defeated cancer once, I think maybe even twice, and it's kind of come back with a vengeance, to be completely frank. He's a fighter, and we're all trying to come together as a community to try to help him. So if anything at all you can contribute, we would greatly, greatly appreciate that over to the GoFundMe page, which is linked in the pinned comment and also in the description of the video. I want to do a quick shout out. DK4K, good to see you. I want to thank Brian. I want to thank Sam. I want to thank Paul Peck, Sabrina, all these great people. Yes, that is exactly right, Paul Peck. Give me a hashtag Owen Rocks in the chat.
Love it.
More importantly, I want to thank not more importantly, but especially I want to thank our awesome guest, Dee Nimmin. I'm going to embarrass Dee in just a second here because I have to say this. There's a lot of people that I've met in my life. I ran my mother's family business as a young kid. We're around the same age. We're not exactly the same age, but I've been around the block, for a long, long time. You meet people that, you love, you meet people you connect with, that you network with, you meet other people. You're kind of surprised by their actions. I'm sure everybody can relate to this. You're kind of like, wow, where did that come from? I can say without a shadow of hyperbole that Dee Nimmin has been one of the kindest, warmest, most giving, generous, intelligent, like dangerously intelligent individuals that I've ever met in this, not only in this community, but in my entire business, public, private sector career. And so I would highly, highly recommend, I would implore you, if you're listening on the podcast, if you're watching this on the replay, I would highly, highly encourage you, go check out Dee Nimmin's channel. Follow him everywhere, because not only is he amazing in his video content, but he's just an amazing human being. His Twitter account rocks. His TikTok rocks. His TikTok is awesome. And, he's everywhere. So follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter. Definitely follow his YouTube and subscribe to his YouTube channel. There's not a finer gentleman in the business. His brother is obviously amazing too. But, Dee's the older one, and I'm an older brother too. I got a younger brother too. So us older brothers, we got to stick together.
I'm the original Nimmin. The original Nimmin, the OG Nimmin. Yeah.
The OG Nimmin. Yeah, the OG Nimmin.
Yeah. People, first of all, I want to say you're too kind. That was I'm going to hire you to introduce me now for all public speaking gigs.
I'm down. I'm down.
But secondly, people always say, "Hey, you look like Nick," and I'm like, "No. I came first. Nick looks like me." Let's get that straight.
I actually don't think you look a thing like him. I know you get confused for him a lot. I know I can tell the difference. I never have. I may have said Nick randomly just because the name.
Yeah.
But when I see your faces, I'm not like, is that Nick or Dee? I think you look completely different. Yep. But that's just me. But Dee, I want to give you the floor. Any kind of last thoughts before we kind of end here on anything? Owen, YouTube Shorts. Content creation. I want you to kind of send us home here, if you don't mind, Dee. Just kind of, and also please make sure you share where you'd like people to maybe find out about you and reach out to you.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say that if you can give anything of any size for Owen's cause, it would be greatly appreciated. He's battling a really tough fight right now, and everything helps. Even if it's $5, that is incredibly helpful. If you can't give money, that's perfectly fine. When you see somebody going live and you're tweeting about it, give it a retweet, give it a share it out in your social feeds. Everything you can possibly do is going to help. This is a tough fight, and we're trying to raise $150,000. We've got $79,000 raised already. Owen is going to beat this thing.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. We as YouTube educators are always talking about community. We're always talking about focus on building a community, build a community, build a community. This is what community is right here. You're looking at it. You're looking at community in action. Every time you hear somebody say about build a community, you're looking at it. You're looking at it. This is a group of people who we all know Owen. Some people don't even know him personally, but we're all coming together as a community for one cause to help an amazing person. I always think of Owen as a brother from another mother. Fantastic guy. So anything you can do is helpful. In terms of your own content, if you are on the fence, should you get started? Yes, just make content. Look, I come from 20 years of video production. Nothing has impacted my life like going on YouTube. Nothing has impacted my life like going on YouTube. If you're trying to build your business, you need video. The power of video, you're not even going to believe it until you actually get out there and do it. And don't worry about being great at it. You're going to suck at first. Everybody sucks at first when they're in front of the camera. Even though I have a background coming from video production, I wasn't in front of the camera. So I had to learn how, and I'm still struggling with learning how to communicate. Like that's my weakness as a creator, is learning how to properly communicate with my audience. I can edit, I can make it look good, but that, communication skills, like that's something that we all have to learn. So get started. It's going to be a long journey, but I promise you, in the end, in the long run, it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding. And if you can make content that can impact people's lives, that can lift up people, that can inspire people, that can help them solve problems, that can get them through something, you're on the right path. You're on the right
I love
path.
it. Where would you like to? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just want to thank you for having me on. This is the first time I've actually been on your show solo.
I think it is, isn't it?
This is, yeah.
We got to change that. We have to. You have to be. You know, Dale's been on the show 5 times.
What? I'm feeling
Yeah,
left out.
Dale's kind of like, you know, the SNL, the five club, the 5 guest jacket. I'm gonna make Dale a 5 club members jacket for the Nez Nation.
There you go.
But like, dude, you know, I want you to break Dale's record, actually, D.
Yeah.
So I need to have you. I definitely need to have you come on and also I just want to say this too, D. Always know, brother, because you know, I know we run around and we see each other on Twitter and what have you once in a while. If you're ever like, that's a topic I'm kind of curious about, or like, you know, if you happen to be around, you know, we go live every Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you're ever like, dude, I'd love to jump in, I just want you to know, D, from the bottom of my heart, no BS, you always have a pass.
Thank you.
You always have an open invite.
Appreciate that.
Anytime you want to jump in, like, oh, okay, Nez is talking about e-commerce, or Nez is talking about YouTube, or he's talking about LinkedIn, or he's talking about branding this way or that way. And I know you have a ton of experience. Like our community, our audience, you know, we not only are we in love with you, but we can learn so much from you. So always feel like, never feel like, should I, you know, we need to schedule something. Always know anytime, brother. We'll schedule stuff too, but always know the invite is always open, brother. Always.
I appreciate that so much. Since you just mentioned e-commerce, I want to mention one thing since we are talking about short form content before we close this out.
Please.
So during the pandemic, right, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm stuck in Mexico. I can't go home to Thailand. What am I going to do? So I started a couple of new projects, and some of the projects that I opened run off of Shopify. I didn't know how to run Shopify. I know all about WordPress and how to use, different plugins for WordPress, so on and so forth, but I didn't know about Shopify. Guess where I went to learn how to build and optimize a Shopify store? TikTok. I learned how to build 2 businesses off of TikTok, completely optimizing my Shopify store. And those businesses are very lucrative now. Very lucrative now because of what I learned on TikTok. I didn't go to YouTube.
Isn't that amazing?
I didn't want to sit through 15-minute videos on YouTube. I went to TikTok and I watched 30-second and 60-minute or 30-second and 60-second clips that were just rapid fire information because that's how I want to consume content.
Amazing.
And I learned more over there over just like a couple of days, and I was able to implement that into Shopify and literally just build 2 different businesses because of TikTok.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing. And by the way, just since you mentioned that, like, I don't know if you know this or not, D, but TikTok is actually partnered with Shopify.
I did not know that.
They're actually partners now. Yeah.
I did not know
and
that.
What's going to happen too is, and it's not yet, but I guarantee you this is, the creator economy, guys. I get so excited about this. You just inspired me again, D, because I just literally, thank you so much, Paul. Great to see you. George Fisher on LinkedIn. George is an amazing consultant and coach. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, Shopify and TikTok are partnering, and there's going to be a day, Nez Nation, and D, you're going to love this, where you can shop from your e-commerce store inside the app on TikTok with just a click of the button. You're going to watch a TikTok and you're going to be like, wow, I really like what she's wearing. Or I really like D's, his Niminati shirt or whatever. You're going to be able to click on it and with one click, without leaving the app, just like Apple Pay or whatever, Google Pay, you're going to be able to buy. They just partnered with Shopify. Amazing.
That is amazing. And you know what that means? Like all of these platforms now are just going above and beyond everything they can do to monetize their platforms even more so creators can make money, can make revenue. Right now is the best time to start your journey for being a content creator. Right now is the best time to double down on what you're doing. Right now is the best time to go upload content on all the other platforms. Right now is the best time to be a creator because all these platforms, they're literally competing with each other to make it better for us. They're competing with each other so
awesome.
We can make more money.
So awesome.
Yeah, I mean, wrap your head around that. They're literally competing. They're fighting each other so we can make more money, so we can get more exposure, so we can build our brands. They're competing with each other over us. Take advantage of that.
Preach, brother, preach.
Leverage that.
Yeah.
Don't get left at the train station on this one, because that train's leaving with or without you.
Yeah, exactly. And those sites that Dee shared earlier, those short form content sites that, like, I know Byte, some of those other ones I don't know of, but hey, Blue Ocean Theory, right? Go where there's new opportunities. There it is. Let me make that big, Dee, just for a second. Hold on. Yeah, those new sites. I'm not somebody who advocates that, just go always try out the new shiny objects. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a content creator or a business owner, you should always be on the lookout for opportunities, because that's what it's all about.
And
It's all, especially if you're not a Mr. Beast, you're not a D, a D and Nick Nimmin. You are somebody who's trying to grow a new audience. You got to pay attention.
You need to pay attention, and you never know where you're going to find your audience. You never know the demographic that's just going to connect with you on a just deep level, where they go, "That's the best channel I've ever seen.
Yep,
That's the best video I've ever seen," and that could be your next video on a platform that you've never heard of.
Yeah, exactly. I think, hey guys, give me a hashtag yes if you think Dee and Nez should be like the old version of Cullen and Samir. We're the older dudes, the older version, because Dee,
Oh my God, that's hilarious,
dude. I think it's perfect.
Yeah,
because they talk about the creator economy. I love their show, by the way. I love their channel.
Yeah,
they're so good, and they just had Justin Kahn on their show recently. I would highly recommend, if you want to, because we talk about the creator economy. It's so funny that Dee said this is the time right now.
It's right now.
Because again, Dee, this is why you and I need to work together, because I literally said that. I mean, and guys, please back me up on this. I say this all the time. This is the greatest time to be a content creator. This is the greatest time to be alive, because competition is good for creators. It's amazing.
It is great for creators. Like I said, these platforms are tripping over themselves, fighting with one another, so we can get more exposure, so we can build our brand, so we can build our business, so we can make more money, so we can become full-time content creators. They're fighting each other for it.
Hey, look, Dee, you heard from the audience. The audience has announced that they request it. We should be the older version of Cullen and Samir.
That's hilarious.
We just get together every week and talk about the creator economy. I don't know anything that's not more fun than that.
You know, the thing is, so many people think, I wish, and this is my one regret with YouTube, and this might be your regret too. I don't know, but for me, my regret is not starting sooner. That's my only regret. I wish I would have started sooner. And so many people are like, hey, it's too late. It's too late. YouTube, if you're not established on YouTube, you're not going to grow. That is nonsense. That is absolute nonsense. And you've got all these other platforms as well. Look, there's so many opportunities right now. The only thing that's getting in your way is you and your mindset and your lack of skills. But the more you do it, the more you practice, the more videos you make, you're going to get better. I promise you that. I promise you. Repetition, 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 and you will make it before you know it.
Brilliant minds think alike. I think this is the perfect example of brilliant minds think alike. If I don't toot my own horn. No, I love it, Dee. In all seriousness, I really, really appreciate you, brother, and I absolutely love
Likewise, man.
Hanging out with you. I love seeing you in person. Hopefully I'll get to see you in person sooner than later. If these variants don't, it's funny because I know we both know Steve Otto from Dotto from Dotto Tech. Dotto was on a podcast recently, and he's like, I know Daryl wants to do Vid Summit, but he's like, I'm not going. So I don't know if a lot of people are still trepidatious about in person, especially now. By the way, I know you're speaking there. I just hope I can see you sooner than later. That's what I hope.
I'm scheduled to speak there. There are a lot of variables in the mix right now. I'm in Mexico. We're still struggling to get vaccinated down here. So there's a lot of variables to go on. But I am, if everything aligns, I'm speaking at Vid Summit.
Yeah, I'm hoping to God. It's my first time speaking at the People of Video conference. And I love Dan, and I know you do too.
Yeah.
And it's the first in-person one. And I'm just like, please don't tell me, because I have kids, and I have my kids can't get vaccinated.
Right.
So God forbid if I bring this back, I have to weigh those risks versus rewards. I'm hoping to God that things get better, and everybody should know this, that when I've met Dee in person, he's the same exact dude. Authentic, warm, kind, generous, never says I'm too busy, always says I'll make time for you, brother, anytime. That to me is not only a sound content creator, but a sound human being. And that's why he's an official member of the Nez Nation family. So D, on behalf of the entire Nez Nation family, I just want to say, brother, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We love you. We love everything that you're doing. Keep rocking. Keep it up. And just know anytime you want to hang with Nez Nation, you are always invited. Okay, man?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm sure I'll see you again, hopefully sooner than later on the stream for Owen. By the way, don't forget the pinned comment and in the description. Thank you so much, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, D?
Thanks.
All
Everyone.
right, man. Take
Cheers.
care.
I'll
Yep.
see you.
Guys, you know how awesome D is. You know how fantastic he is. And you got to go check out D. Man, that was so much fun. He just made the stream a billion times better, in my opinion. And I just want to say a really quick thank you to everybody who's been, hey, good to see you, Seti. Great to see you. I want to say thank you to Sam. I want to say thank you to Luxury Hybrid. Thank you so much for the $2.99 super chat. I want to say thank you to Stella for making it. Brian always being here. Anthony, awesome to see you, Anthony, as always. Sweeney is always the best. There's so many people. Gary Cantrell in the house. George Fisher, Paul Peck, always great to see you there. Imad, always good to see you. So many people to thank. I just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to this weekend. I look forward to meeting you guys every day. I look forward to office hours with yours truly every day. We talked about YouTube Shorts. If you're watching this or just joining us right now, you're going to want to go all the way back to the beginning because D really breaks down the Shorts Fund, really breaks down how to execute shorts, how to get traction, how to get attention. He have a YouTube masterclass that he just literally dropped atomic bombs of wisdom on all of us. And so I would highly, highly recommend you watch the replay and take notes. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys, Nez Nation. I really, really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe because we go live every single week. And also you're going to get content every single week on how you can earn more, grow faster, and stress less. Get yourself out of your way, advance your career, grow your online business in the creator economy. And yes, I put those two together. Advancing your career and growing your business, it's the same mentality. It's personal branding. It's messaging. It's crafting a compelling message for a very specific audience, whether it's a hiring manager, whether it's a customer, whether it's an audience, doesn't matter. If you want to achieve your objectives in the online ecosystem, you got to know who you serve and you got to craft a compelling message and you got to know who you are. And that's what we talk about. And you heard it from my man, D. Nimmin, that there's more opportunities now than ever. This is the time. This is your time to create value. This is your time to start because it's never been better. And guess what, guys? This is only the beginning. It's just started. All of this stuff has just started. It's just the beginning. So another huge thank you to D. Nimmin. Thank you guys, Nez Nation audience. Love you guys more than anything. Really, really appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys next week. Maybe I'll see you guys. I have to go do some family stuff, but I'll be back if they're doing more charity streams for Owen. Love you, love you, love you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.